On this from last month, since Caitlin abstained and
Abstains. I see he wasn't here that meeting.
right,
I didn't remember him abstaining, but when I saw the notes, I said, I'll put it in there. So
well, I
that's good.
just did an executive decision.
Sure. Well, that's the correct one because he wasn't at the meeting, so I can't vote to approve. All right, we're going to get this meeting started. Welcome, everyone. Two absences, both notified me they wouldn't be here. Birch and Boyd. So on the table in front of you is a folder that's a code book update. First page there tells you exactly what to do, what pages to take out, which ones to put in. And so do that at your leisure, not now. Not now. Because we're going to get this meeting done quickly. Yeah, it is. We don't have anything really. Welcome. You're here for a special purpose or just
because I said I would come and visit.
well, thank you. Welcome to the meeting. So we'll call the meeting to order. Holly?
Chairman Mayhood.
Here.
Mr. Craig is excused,
Yep.
Mr. Engard, Mr. Grote, he's excused, Mr. Miller, Vice Chairman McCombsky.
Okay. You join me in the salute to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we're looking at another short meeting tonight. Privilege of the floor. Is there anything anyone would like to bring up to the board that's not on the agenda? I do have a copy of a timber harvest registration for Martin and Marietta Fisher, 6151 Canada Hill Road. It's been approved. They have a forester, Scotty Hatch Forester is doing the job. 74 acres. Doesn't say how many trees are taken down. I have it here if anybody wants to look at it. There's a map of it.
That's the one up here. I think they're all done with it. They pulled out about a week ago.
Okay, well, it said they were gonna start August 15th and completed by October 1st. So we just got the form. So
That's when I had a stop work order on it for a while.
they didn't have the registration and CEO stopped their work. And then they did put in the timber harvest registration.
What was the exemption?
It's a forester, Scotty, they got Scotty Hatch, upstate New York Forestry to do it.
Okay.
So doing that, then they don't need to come to us for site plan. So that's,
On that one, at the landing site up there, the road.
Mhm.
I've never seen this before, that they brought in these big timbers,
yeah,
laid them out, so that when the equipment came up there, the road to unload, and then load the truck to take it out.
Mhm.
They could station it all on this, these timbers.
turn your mic on if you don't.
Damage.
Turn your mics on too, folks, for the sake of the recording. But yeah, they're doing that like around the state where they did big projects. They bring in these big, they look like railroad ties.
Yeah.
They're a lot longer and they fill it in and they don't.
I saw that, that's the
Don't
first
get
time
all
I've seen
muddy
that though.
with their loading spots.
Yeah.
So that was the privilege of the floor that I wanted to show everyone. We'll move, nothing else. Approval of the minutes of the August 28th meeting. Holly included them in the packet here. They looked good to me. Any corrections?
I had one correction. There's a typo in G, privilege of the floor, in the word privilege.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it's
Oh, yeah.
PR5. And just an update, when we, at the last meeting, we approved the previous, we approved the July meeting. And Paul, you hadn't been here, so she put you down as an abstain.
Okay.
Yeah, and Caitlin abstained because so you had missed the meeting, so you can't vote on approving the minutes for the meeting. So Holly fixed that. Other than that, I have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
All right, Caitlin, second. Second. Paul, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Can I ask where the
Town board minutes were?
Okay, well, I was gonna tell you,
Oh, that's coming
town
up.
board minutes are 8 pages long.
Oh,
I've been copying them for everyone and I see a lot of them in the trash, or I see you turn them.
okay.
These are available online. Both printed minutes and the Zoom meetings are online, so I decided not to put them in the packet.
Okay.
If anybody really wants to see them. I mean, I could give you the, but you've got internet now, you could look at them, but if I could give you the one copy that she gives me, if you're interested in it.
I like seeing them in there, but they lag by a month, so it's.
Yeah, they're a month,
Yeah.
they're a month behind,
Yeah.
so, because she doesn't print them until they're approved, just like ours
Yeah.
are, we don't print them
Yeah,
and put them on the website until they're approved.
I don't know how to go on to get them online. If they were emailed to me, I could read them.
Candidates.org.
What?
I could show you how to do it.
It's the address, it's easy.
I don't know how to, is that like a?
You can do it.
I probably can, but if you showed me,
After
I
the meeting,
can-
Steve, I'll show you, you can write
Okay.
down the steps to do it.
that'll work, that'll work.
If they were more up to date, I would probably print them and put them in, but since they're a month behind anyway.
That's
I
fine.
just made it an executive.
just
decision
curious.
to Save the trees. Okay? And they're usually all correct because they're approved, so. So the other reports, the town board meeting. Town board met on September 11th. They had a public hearing to talk about fire protection contracts for the fiscal year of 2024. No questions about it, so they put the requested amount into the budget proposal. They did a public hearing on the revision of the short-term rental law, the ones that we had looked at our last meeting. And I just described to them what the revision was. Nobody had any comments on that. Business, the reports. Pretty routine. Oh, excuse me, that they did have a privilege of the floor. They had Janelle from the library. Don't know her last name. She was up. Again, budget request, putting in the budget request or the budget workshop. That's tomorrow night, by the way, if you want to come to the budget workshop and look at the proposed budget. Our budget's the same, except that we're adding a large amount for comprehensive plan activities. And I talked to Chris Vestal about that. He said shouldn't be any problems at all with that, getting that set up for next year. And if we have any charges this year, they'll just put them in the general fund for this year. So she was here, Janelle from the library, asking for money again for next year, and no other comments about it. She reported that they do still have a fairly large circulation of hardcover books, and their circulation of ebooks is increasing. She's trying to broaden the scope of the library functions down there, especially for children. So other reports, town clerk, regular highway department. They've completed all of the road work projects that they had scheduled for 2023 already. So a little ahead of that. They're doing road shoulder repairs. They have that machine that they're going around town with that. They got a new truck for the superintendent, a new F-250. It's here being modified to be used. And the F-550, which is the smaller plow truck, is in Auburn. It's in Auburn, and it's being modified for use. So a couple of new vehicles. The pickup truck is going to go to the CEO and the deputy for their use. Apparently the state no longer wants CEOs to be using their personal vehicles when they're doing town work. So the town has to provide a vehicle. So they're giving them the 2019 F-250. I think it's that one that one that's sitting out there. I think is what it is. So that's their equipment. The grader, he mentioned the grader's on order and they hope to get that by next spring. That was pretty much all the highway guy had to say. Honeywell Lake Watershed Task Force. They reported the alum treatment that the DEC did last spring doesn't seem to be working. They have several algae blooms in August and September. So DEC is looking at it to see why it hasn't worked, whether it was an incorrect amount or incorrect application or whatever. They're pretty discouraged that we have so much algae in the lake this year. And the weed harvesting ended on August 28th. Besides that, the sidewalk and the parking lots have all been completed. They had a problem out where you see with that road closed and all those cones are out there. They ran in some wet spot or something and they couldn't get a good base. They put blacktop over it anyway. And then I guess it was sinking down. So they're going to fix that, but when he didn't know. Still looking for someone to do some maintenance on the Canadice Hollow Cemetery. They had someone look at it, but they declined to quote. They said it was too difficult for them to get in there and do anything. That was Snyder Brothers, whoever Snyder Brothers Cemetery Service. But they looked at it and said it was too difficult due to the slopes.
Do you know
Getting
what
in
the
there.
maintenance was?
A lot of the headstones need to be set up. There's some trees that need to be trimmed out. Yeah. So they're looking for someone still to do that. I don't know what they do if they can't find somebody contracted. I don't know if they use town employees to do something like that or not. Probably not. Yeah. And other than that, couple of public hearings. They're going to set a public hearing for the October town board meeting for Water District Capital Improvement Project. Authorized a new contract with Ontario County for the road services and a contract with the town of Naples to do that section of County Road 36 again this year. We're trying to get out of that, but they haven't yet. They're still doing that. They're looking at gutter replacement on the town hall and the town courts. They got a couple of quotes and they decided to give the contract to JMM Contracting. So they're going to be putting new gutters on the two buildings with gutters with leaf guards on them. They didn't give a time frame of when they were going to do that. And budget workshop tomorrow night at 7 or 7. I think it's at 7 o'clock here, if you're interested in coming to that. And that was pretty much it. Questions? Okay. County Planning Board, Steve Grote.
We had our board meeting on September 13th. Prior to the meeting, 7 o'clock, those 1 to 10 training started at 6 o'clock. They had that. Our council person, Terry Brownwell, he did a 30-minute presentation on the background of the Honeywell Lake Water Task Force. And then we had Megan Webster, who's the director of the Ontario County Soil and Water. He did a 30-minute presentation on her group. And they're both good, both interesting. Like that. This coming October, we've got another hour training plan. And this is going to be, it'll start at 6 o'clock on the meeting night. No, the Seneca Lake Pure Water Association, and the Canandaigua Lake Association. Other than that, any of the referrals that are not worthy of mention. I did ask Ted some of these because I brought up with asked you, well, what are some of these here?
Turn your mic on, please.
Any of these area
Steve,
variances.
turn your mic on, please.
Geez, I did, I hit the button.
Okay, gotta hold it.
Light came on.
If it goes off, the batteries are down, so.
Okay.
It's a little late. but-
These are class one area variances, which deal with front setbacks. So they are deemed in the board minutes that they're to be presented to the board. Side setbacks, things of that nature. It's still an area variance. They're deemed administrative review. And they're presented in that mode. But, so we have, I think there was like 5 of them this month. So if you were
Yeah.
wondering why some of these, they're area variances and all area variances, especially front setbacks, that deals with the front setback. Gets sent in and for review as a class one.
But we're not sending, our town's not sending anything over there. So who
We
determines?
haven't had any really front setbacks. For additions, things of that nature,
Oh, yeah.
that I know of.
CBA has had variances. Setback variances. Almost, not almost every month, but several.
The front.
There are,
Oh,
the variances for setbacks.
oh.
That's why I asked the question last time.
Yeah.
Why should our town be sending those in? They seem pretty trivial to me that the county would waste their time. Is it only on like lakefronts or?
No, well,
just
these were, like
any
I
road
said,
frontage?
the town of South Bristol. Long Point Road. Lake resident, the parcel is zoned lake residential. Sorry, one. Setback. The town of Canandaigua, this is not. Lake Park.
Yeah.
No, again, it's 0.38 acre parcel in the residential lake district. I'll get a clarification.
Yeah, it's just-
On first lake districts.
If I was sitting on the Ontario County Planning Board and they were bringing those to me, I'd say,
They usually hear them up, they're on a county road, they're near the town line, they.
it's on a town line, yeah.
Or protected water.
But if you look at these, these from this isn't the ZBA, but you look at the ZBA and they're giving variances, people building on decks and changing things all the time. But we're not sending, they don't go to the county planning.
Yeah, and these
or
are just,
review or-
I had thought the only ones that got sent up were the ones that I just. mentioned.
Yeah, if it was on a town line road or a water.
we had like 5 of them this
Okay.
month.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
I'm
could.
not sure we can do this.
yeah, I'll,
Well, I don't want to create word, but I
yeah,
want to make sure our town is doing the right thing here
Right.
relative to the county planning. Okay.
yeah, cause that's what I brought up, it's not cheaper, so why are all these coming in? And they said we had about 5 of them.
Okay,
I'll follow up with them.
thanks. Any
But other
questions?
than that, on any of the other class 2s, map amendments and. Nothing worthy of mention.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Zoning board, Birch usually gives a update. I did not look to see what they had this past month, but I believe they met for some purpose. Again, you can look at it online. They do have their meetings on Zoom. You can listen to their meetings if you'd like. Code enforcement included the report from Joe. If you have any questions, he did mention that at the town board meeting that he's catching up on the backlog of permit requests, permit applications for short-term rentals. He had like 15 of them. And he mentioned that they were working on those and reviewed like 12 of them. So they were making progress on getting those done. And we don't have any old business or new business. We do have we will be getting a site plan application next month. Property on the lake, they're gonna demolish a cottage and rebuild slightly larger one. It's on West Willow Point. I met with the gentleman this week. No, I didn't. I talked to him on the phone. And when he gets his maps. Preliminary maps, he's gonna come and show us what he's got. Other than that, last privilege of the floor, I emailed everyone the registration information for the Genesee Finger Lakes Regional Planning. Training that's coming up. And remember, you have to have 4 hours this year. And Caitlin's giving a talk tomorrow.
Wednesday.
on
Wednesday, right?
Stay down at
Wednesday at
Muller.
Muller.
7 o'clock, I guess, 7,
I believe it's at 6.
6, is it? 7. I've got on my sticky note at home, but, yeah, 6 o'clock, okay.
Anything anybody wants to bring up?
We have it inside the building or? Well,
Is that considered training or is that just fun?
No, it's not, doesn't qualify for planning for training.
Planning, not related.
No.
Just checking.
Good question.
Then a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Thanks for coming out, folks. Excuse me. I'll get- I'll get-